What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Overrated, Underrated with Resilience Training and me, Coach Mike. This is that video series where you guys give me topics based in fitness, nutrition, and sports performance, and I let you know whether I think they are overrated or underrated. Let's get into your responses from last week. Hip thrust, Instagram's favorite exercise. If you scroll through social media enough, you are bound to see some fitness influencer showing off her hip thrust for her latest and greatest booty building workout. But is this exercise overrated? In terms of building glute strength and size, I would say squats and hip thrusts are the two main contenders. Because with both of those exercises, you can load them up with a lot of resistance, and that is what's going to cause adaptation and muscle growth. There's also good variations to the hip thrust, like the single leg hip thrust, which is one of my personal favorites. My clients will tell you. And again, this hip hinging movement is really good when it comes to targeting and isolating the glutes. Now, my only contention with this move is I see a lot of people do it improperly. You see, when we do this move, we want the torso and the core to stay tight. But some of the time I see people hip thrust and to pull their hips through, they just lean their head backwards, causing an arch in your back. We don't want to do that. So one of the coaching cues that I use with my clients is keep your rib cage shorter than longer. What that does is it keeps your abs tight. And when your abs are tight, that will prevent your back from overarching. But let's answer this dang question. Are hip thrusts overrated? I would say no. Let's get into response number 2. Juice cleanses. Now that's a new one that we haven't had yet. Before we dive in, what are juice cleanses? A juice cleanse is a type of diet where the person partaking almost exclusively drinks fruit and vegetable juices for a period of time, sometimes 10, 20, even 30 days. Now, while that might sound healthy, is it really? Well, let's address the benefits first. Did you know only 1 in 10 adults here in the US eat enough fruits and vegetables? Yeah, it's crazy. So when people do jump into these juice cleanses, they actually hit their fruit and vegetable daily recommended intake. As you can imagine, that does come with benefits. More vitamins, more antioxidants, like vitamin C, vitamin E, folate, beta carotene. So you can imagine that alone might start to make people feel better when they're on a juice cleanse. And while that's one benefit that comes with a juice cleanse, there are a lot of health risks that comes with it as well. For instance, most fruits and vegetables are almost void of protein and a vitamin called vitamin B12, which is really important for bodily organ function. And think about this, when you juice fruits and vegetables, you take out almost all the fiber. And fiber is so necessary for gut health, for keeping blood sugar levels down, and for feeling satiated. And since a lot of these juice cleanses come with a low calorie count, you're mixing low calories with low protein, with low fiber. So that comes with a lot of side effects like fatigue, like dizziness, headaches. Who wants all that? And if you do stay on a diet like this for an extended period of time, you can start to lose muscle mass and bone density. Because again, we're talking about a low protein diet, right? And don't get me wrong, a lot of these juice cleanse diets do come with some short-term weight loss, but that comes with some health risks. And you're basically teaching your body how to only lose weight while only drinking juice. So while it sounds sexy, while it may look cool, juice cleanses are overrated. Let's get into response number 3. Stair climber workouts. That's also a new one. Wow, okay. Now, what is a stair climber? Trust me, you've seen one. You know that piece of equipment in your gym that looks like a mini escalator with revolving steps and handrails to keep you stable? Now, while I might be a little bit biased, I think the stair climber is one of the best pieces of cardio equipment, and here's why. You see, the stair climber is still fairly low impact on the joints, and you get to work almost every single muscle in your legs and your butt, because climbing stairs is a weight-bearing exercise. And think about it, more muscle activation means more calories burned. And even though it's just revolving steps, there's so many different routines and exercises and ways to utilize the stair climber. You can do a squat to a step, you can do a skip a step pattern, you can run up the steps, you can even crossover step. Now, while all those are cool variations to use, there is one that I want to address.
There's been this trend going around with step-ups with banded hip extension.
Now, the move itself is not bad, don't get me wrong. But what I have seen are fitness influencers promise that this is going to build you a bigger butt. It won't. You know what will? The hip thrust we talked about in the beginning of this video. So let's bring it all back. Stair climber workouts? Underrated. All right, guys, let's get into our last response. The carnivore diet. Okay, now this is a new one that I haven't got on this video series yet. Now, what is the carnivore diet? I mean, it is what it sounds like. It's a diet where you mostly eat meat. People on the carnivore diet will stick to meat, coffee, eggs, and pretty much that's it. Some people on the carnivore diet will eat animal products like milk and dairy, and then some people won't. It's just a matter of preference. And since this diet is so new, there's not a lot of long-term research on it yet. But what we have seen are some short-term results of people getting on the carnivore diet and actually getting really good health benefits. Better skin, better hair, better gut health. Some even claim that this carnivore diet helped them get over digestive diseases that they have. Now, while I love meat, whether it's pork, steak, chicken, turkey, I have to admit that any mono diet is not sustainable. Mono diet meaning that you're only eating one thing. Not being able to eat wheat, grains, fruits, vegetables, that's gonna come with some health risks. Very much like the people who are only drinking vegetable and fruit juice. My belief in finding some kind of a balance that works for you is key. Maybe you want to go to a diet that's mostly meats, a little bit of veggies and fruits here and there. Or maybe you want to go to mostly veggies and fruits with a little bit of meat over here. And again, that's just my feeling on it. And to be honest, I don't see a lot of people hopping on the carnivore diet bandwagon just yet. So since that's kind of like a fringe diet, like a fad diet right now, and not a lot of people are hyping it up, I'm gonna say that the carnivore diet is properly rated. All right, guys, thank you for watching another episode. You guys know I love to do this, and I'm gonna keep doing this as long as you guys keep answering my requests. Next week, I'll make another post asking you guys to give me topics based in fitness, nutrition, and sports performance, and I'll do my best to let you know whether I think they are overrated or underrated. Stay resilient.